Today we'll be looking at Proverbs 14:34, which reads, "Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a shame to any people." So I think this is a very good verse for today's day, because today in America, at least in America, is election day. And so we need to be reminded that what righteousness is what brings a nation, up to its levels that it needs to be at, right? Righteousness is what exalts a nation, as it tells you in the verse, not a political candidate. Donald Trump is not going to save you. Kamala Harris is not going to save you. Kamala Harris is not going to save the country. Donald Trump's not going to save the country. The Republican Party is not going to save the country. Nor is the Democratic Party going to save the country. God is going to. And from God, righteousness. Because from God comes righteousness, right? As he tells you, be holy for I am holy. And so as a people, we must strive to be holy as God is holy. That will lift up the nation of America, right? The United States of America will be lifted and exalted above other nations if they do that, if they keep the righteous commands of the Lord. Not if they sit there and pledge their allegiance to, people like Kamala Harris or the Democratic Party or Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Furthermore, we see that it tells us that what sin is what weighs down a nation. And this country is way down from sin. Most of the inhabitants in this country are sinful. Most people say that they're Christian, and they're not Christian. Just because you say you're something doesn't mean that you are it. Again, just because you say you're something doesn't mean you're it. And a lot of people say they're something, and then you look at their actions, and it's a totally different ballgame. And so just because the Republicans tell you, they say Christ this, Christ that, Christ this, does not mean they're for Christ, okay? Many of them just pander to Christians or self-proclaiming Christians to get what? To get their vote. The righteous know that is what they're looking to do. The same way Democrats pander to minorities and women is the same thing that Republicans do with self-proclaimed Christians. They pander to you to try to get your vote by invoking the name of the Lord when it seems fit to do so, right? Where they see fit to do so. And so with that being said, we must be on high alert and realize that neither party is going to save you, because both parties have been in office and nothing's gotten better. The situation has gotten worse. Why? Because it's not a case of who sits in the office. It's not a case who represents you in the state level either. It is a case of what? Good versus evil. The world boils down to good versus evil. It's never boiled down to anything else. It's always been good versus evil. And so if your nation is evil, then you'll be weighed down by the sins of the peoples of the nation and the leaders of the nation. But if you're of God and the peoples are of God, the righteousness that the people exude will exalt them above all other nations. Why? Because they represent God well, and God is the creator of all the universe. And so by his power, and his will is greater than all of ours, right? It's greater than anyone's will. And by his will, because of the righteousness that we exude on behalf of him, as we are made holy by him, then he will lift us up as a nation above all other nations. And so with that being said, do not put your faith in either political party or even either political candidate, right? Presidential candidate. Put your faith in God. Be righteous by him and look to be holy, for he is holy.